You know that feeling. You order something online, maybe late at night, and bang, it's practically on your doorstep the next day.
Oh, yeah. Almost feels instant sometimes.
Right. Or you walk into a store, and that one specific thing you always need, it's just there on the shelf every single time.
Like magic. Or seems like it.
Exactly. It feels effortless. But behind that, there's this incredibly complex, almost invisible world working away.
Absolutely. A whole hidden engine.
Well, welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really going to pull back the curtain on that engine. We're talking distribution, logistics, and warehouse management.
Foundational concepts, not just buzzwords people throw around.
No, definitely not. These are the core mechanics of how pretty much everything gets from, raw materials all the way into your hands.
From source to you.
So our mission today is to unpack the key ideas here. Why is this stuff so vital, especially now? And what are the surprising details that make it all tick?
We want to make it clear, actionable knowledge for you, drawing on some really comprehensive course material about operational excellence, turning complexity into clarity.
Okay, let's jump right in then. Why are distribution and logistics just so incredibly important right now? It sounds simple, just moving things around.
Yeah, it sounds simple, but the reality is quite different today.
I figured. The source material definitely points to something bigger.
It really does. What we're seeing is this intense velocity of change. Think about customer power, what you demand, the speed you expect, then add in technology constantly shifting, huge cost pressures.
Globalization, right? Everything's connected.
Exactly. All these forces mean companies can't just be fast. They need to be incredibly agile,
Right.
really flexible. Their distribution and logistics aren't just about moving goods anymore.
They have to be adaptive.
Precisely. Adaptive. It's gone from being maybe a necessary cost to a real competitive weapon, needing that constant readiness for, well, whatever comes next.
That makes sense. So these distribution channels, they didn't just appear. They formed to solve problems, right?
Okay.
What core issues were they actually designed to tackle?
That's a great way to look at it. Fundamentally, they solve three big problems. First, the obvious one, time, place, and delivery. Getting stuff closer to you, the customer, when and where you need it.
Okay, that makes sense. Proximity.
Second, they really work to decrease the overall complexity, both in terms of product movement and just the sheer number of transactions.
How do they do that?
By standardizing things, business functions, and making sure products are available in the right assortments, the right lot sizes people actually want. You don't want a whole truckload of toothpaste, right?
Hey, no, probably not. Just a tube.
Exactly. And third, they enable specialists to step in. Think about dedicated warehousing companies or transportation firms. These intermediaries facilitate the flow of goods, sure, but also information and even money.
Oh, so we're using these terms logistics, distribution. People often use them interchangeably, myself included sometimes.
Very common.
But is there a clear difference? The source seemed quite specific.
There is, and it helps clarify things. Logistics, if you look at the definition from APSCS, that's the Association for Supply Chain Management, it's really the art and science of obtaining, producing, and distributing material and product in the proper place and in proper quantities.
Okay, so obtaining, producing, distributing. What's its main focus?
Its primary concern tends to be warehousing and transportation, and crucially, it manages the flow of products and information about the marketplace.
Right. And distribution.
Distribution is a bit more specific in scope. It's defined as the activities associated with the movement of material, usually finished goods or service parts, from the manufacturer to the customer.
Ah, so manufacturer to customer. Finished goods.
Yeah. And it covers a broader range of activities within that movement: transportation, warehousing, inventory control, material handling, order processing, packaging, even managing returns. It's the whole journey to the customer and back if needed.
Okay, that distinction is helpful. Now, you mentioned intermediaries before, and this is where it gets really interesting for me. Think about the chaos. If every single company making widgets had to connect directly with every single person buying widgets, the number of connections.
Oh, it'd be astronomical. A complete nightmare.
So how do these intermediaries, wholesalers, distributors, simplify all that for you as the end customer?
It's a classic concept, really fundamental. Let's use the example.
Okay.
Say you have just 3 producers and 5 customers. If they all connect directly, P times C, right?
3 times 5.
Okay.
15 connections. 15 separate relationships to manage.
Exactly. 15 lines of communication, transactions, everything. Now put just one intermediary in the middle, like a wholesaler.
Okay.
Now, the producers only need to connect to that one intermediary. That's 3 connections.
Right.
And the intermediary connects to the 5 customers. That's 5 connections.
So 3 plus 5. Plus the intermediary itself. Wait, oh, I see. 3 to the intermediary, 5 from the intermediary.
Essentially, P plus C. 3 producers connecting to the intermediary, 5 customers connecting from it. So 3 plus 5 equals 8 transactions. We went from 15 down to 8.
Wow, that's a huge reduction in complexity, just by adding one player in the middle.
Massive difference. It boosts efficiency enormously and lets everyone specialize. That intermediary focuses just on distribution, making the whole system smoother.
That makes perfect sense. Now, we mostly think about products moving in one direction, right? To us.
Usually, yes.
But stuff goes back sometimes. Returns, recalls, waste. The source talks about reverse logistics. What exactly is that, and is it just about handling returns?
It's much more than just returns, although that's part of it. Reverse logistics is the entire flow of products. Backwards product returns, yes, but also waste materials, components for refurbishment or disposal, and all the information that goes with it.
So why is it becoming such a big deal?
Well, several reasons. There's growing environmental awareness, obviously. Companies also see it as a competitive edge. Good returns process builds loyalty. Plus, there can be real savings in the aftermarket, reusing parts. Sometimes it's just about doing the right thing, maybe due to pressure from shareholders or customers.
And there's a hierarchy to it.
Yes, a kind of best practice ladder. The top goal is always to use fewer resources in the first place, then reuse items if possible, then recycle materials. After that, maybe recover energy, like from waste to energy plants. And the very last resort should be responsible landfill.
Interesting. Are there actual benefits beyond just managing waste?
Oh, absolutely. Surprisingly lucrative ones sometimes. Think about service contracts for returned electronics, or mitigating losses from returns that maybe shouldn't have happened. It boosts reputation. You can sometimes recover valuable raw materials, maybe even resell refurbished products. It's becoming a strategic area, not just a cost center, turning refunds into relationships almost.
A whole hidden economy in returns. Fascinating. Okay, let's shift gears slightly to inventory. What is inventory really? Beyond just, boxes on shelves in a warehouse.
Right, it's more than just stuff. APCS defines it as those stocks or items used to support production, supporting activities, and customer service.
Support production, activities, and customer service.
Okay. Why is managing it so critical? For the business and ultimately for me as a customer.
Well, for you, it's crucial because it directly affects whether you get what you want when you want it. Availability.
Right. No stock, no sale.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For the business, it's a massive financial investment, huge amounts of capital tied up, so it has to be managed carefully. It also has inherent value. And just the sheer number of inventory transactions means it needs constant review and control to stop losses or waste.
So it's not all just sitting there waiting. The source mentioned inventory has different jobs or functions.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. It serves several distinct purposes. You've got cycle inventory, that's the stock you hold because you order or produce in larger batches than needed immediately. Okay, ordering in bulk creates that.
Then there's safety inventory, or safety stock. That's your buffer. Insurance against unexpected demand surges or delays in getting more supply. Hugely important.
Your just-in-case stock.
Precisely. You also have inventory for geographic specialization, holding stock closer to customers in different regions. Anticipation inventory is built up ahead of known peaks, like for holidays or promotions.
Like stocking up on swimsuits before summer.
Exactly. Then there's transportation inventory, that's simply the stuff currently in transit on a truck or ship. And finally, hedge inventory, which is held to protect against expected price increases or potential supply disruptions.
Wow, okay, so inventory is doing a lot of different jobs simultaneously.
It really is. Each type addresses a specific need or uncertainty in the supply chain.
And does the way companies think about inventory change depending on where they sit in that chain? Like, does a manufacturer see it differently than a retailer?
Oh, absolutely. Huge differences in perspective and risk. Manufacturers generally face long-term risk. Their inventory goes all the way from raw materials through work in process or WIP.
Stuff being made.
Right, stuff currently being manufactured, then finally to finished goods. They often need large finished goods inventories to smooth out production and meet distributor demand. So deep commitment.
Okay, long-term, deep commitment.
Okay.
What about distributors?
Distributors are more medium term. They usually only handle finished goods. Their game is buying in bulk from manufacturers, aggregating products, and then selling smaller quantities to retailers. Their risk is balancing supply and demand over weeks or months, and we're seeing them expand their product lines more and more.
Got it. So retailers must be shorter term.
Much shorter term. Retailers are all about velocity, how fast can they buy it and sell it. Their risk is tied more to the variety they offer. Will customers buy this specific style or brand? They have a shallower commitment and often try to push unsold inventory back up the chain if it's not moving.
That makes sense. Quick turnover is key for them. This brings up a really practical question then. How do these companies actually know when it's time to reorder? It can't just be a gut feeling.
Definitely not gut feeling. Well, not ideally. This is where the order point system comes in. It's a pretty straightforward calculation.
Okay, what's the logic?
The formula is basically order point equals your expected demand during the lead time plus your safety stock.
Lead time meaning how long it takes to get the new order.
Exactly. So demand times lead time tells you how much you'll likely sell while waiting for the new shipment. Then you add the safety stock buffer just in case demand is higher or the delivery is late.
Could you give us an example?
Sure. Let's say your daily demand is 280 units, and it takes 7 days for your supplier to deliver. That's your lead time. And you've decided you need 125 units of safety stock.
Okay.
So you multiply 280 units per day by 7 days, which is 1960 units. That's what you expect to sell during the lead time. Then you add your safety stock of 125 units.
Plus 125.
Yeah.
2085 units.
Right. So 2,085 units is your order point. When your inventory on hand drops to that level, that's the trigger to place a new order.
Got it. So that ensures you don't run out while waiting for the next delivery. Plus you have that safety cushion.
Precisely. The safety stock is key for handling that variability, that uncertainty in demand or supply.
Okay, so that's when to order. The next obvious question is, how much should they order each time? What goes into that decision?
Now you're getting into balancing costs. This is crucial. There are basically two sets of costs you need to juggle.
Okay, what are they?
First, you have order costs. These are the costs associated with placing an order. Some are fixed, like maybe a buyer's salary portion, receiving cost. Others are variable, like the actual cost to generate the purchase order, maybe machine setup costs if you're manufacturing, transportation costs.
Well, the cost of actually making the order happen.
Exactly. Then, on the other side, you have inventory carrying costs, sometimes called holding costs. This is the cost of having the inventory.
Like warehouse rent.
That's a big one. Storage costs, rent, utilities, warehouse staff. But also capital costs, the money tied up in inventory could have been used elsewhere, right? That's an opportunity cost.
Interesting. What else?
Service costs, like insurance and taxes on the inventory. And risk costs, this is a big one. What if the inventory gets damaged, stolen, or becomes obsolete?
Right, like those swimsuits if summer ends early.
Precisely. So the challenge is finding the sweet spot. Ordering huge amounts infrequently means low order costs, but high carrying costs. Ordering tiny amounts constantly means low carrying costs, but sky-high order costs.
So you need the balance. How do you find it?
That's where the economic order quantity, or EOQ, comes in. It's a model, a formula, that helps calculate the order quantity where the total of your ordering costs and your carrying costs is minimized.
The Goldilocks amount, not too big, not too small.
Pretty much. The formula uses your annual demand, your cost per order, your unit cost, and your carrying cost rate, usually a percentage of the inventory value.
Can you walk through the example from the source?
Sure. Let's say annual demand is 12,000 units. Each order costs $100 to place. The item itself costs $16 per unit. And your carrying cost is 20% of the inventory value per year.
Okay.
You plug those into the EOQ formula, and it tells you the most economical quantity to order each time is about 866 units. Ordering that amount balances out the cost to order versus the cost to hold it.
866 units. That's quite specific. It really highlights the science behind it.
It does. It moves it away from guesswork towards optimization.
These precise calculations about how much inventory to have naturally lead us to where it all lives, the warehouse.
The nerve center.
Right. Now, when most of us picture a warehouse, it's maybe just a big shed full of boxes, but the course defines warehouse management as much more dynamic than that.
Yeah, the big box image is really deceptive. Proper warehouse management is defined as the segment of an enterprise's logistics functions responsible for the receiving, storage, handling, and shipment of inventories.
Okay, receiving, storage, handling, shipment.
Beginning with supplier receipt and ending at the point of customer consumption. So it's the whole life cycle within those four walls, and it's deeply integrated with the rest of logistics. It's very active, very strategic.
So if it's that active, what are the core jobs or functions happening inside a typical warehouse? Let's break it down.
You can generally group the activities into four main functions. First is materials handling. This is all the physical movement. Loading, unloading, moving things to and from storage locations, sorting products.
Even things like cross-docking, where stuff comes in and goes straight out.
Exactly. Cross-docking fits here. Also, things like postponement, maybe final assembly or labeling happens in the warehouse. Second is product storage itself.
The actual putting away of things.
Right. Storage, put away, managing stock rotation, first in, first out, that kind of thing. Also, consolidation, breaking bulk shipments into smaller ones, mixing products for specific customer orders.
Okay, handling and storage. What else?
Third is order management. This is crucial, picking the items for customer order or production orders, managing the traffic flow within the warehouse, and preparing shipments.
The picking and packing part.
Essentially, yes. And fourth, and this is critical, is information transfer. Managing all the transaction data, keeping inventory records accurate in real time, knowing warehouse capacity. It's the brain coordinating the muscle.
Handling, storage, order management, information. Got it.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned not all warehouses are the same. What are the different types, and why would a business choose one over another?
Good question. There are essentially four main models. You have private warehouses, which the company owns and operates itself.
Pros and cons.
High control, good for company image, usually tailored to specific needs, but very high fixed costs, and not very flexible if your needs change quickly.
Okay, high control, high cost. What's next?
Public warehouses. These are owned by third-party companies who rent out space and services, often short-term, pay as you go.
So the opposite.
Pretty much. High flexibility, lower initial investment. But you have much less control, potentially variable service levels, and maybe less of a tailored fit.
Makes sense. What else?
Contract warehouses. These are also third-party operated, but based on a longer-term contract, maybe 3-5 years. It's a middle ground.
How so?
You get more stability and often better, more customized service than public warehousing, plus more shared risk and reward, but still retain flexibility compared to owning privately. Costs are moderate.
Okay, a hybrid approach? And the last one.
Storage in transit. This is a bit different. It's basically using the transportation mode itself, like a parked truck or rail car, as temporary storage until the goods are needed at the destination.
Really? Like a mobile mini warehouse?
Sort of. Very high flexibility, obviously, but very little control and not great for service or protection. It's usually for specific short-term situations. The choice really depends on the company's strategy, balancing cost, service, control, flexibility.
So many trade-offs. Given all these functions and types, what are the big picture goals? What defines a really well-run warehouse?
The strategic objectives are pretty clear and consistent. Number one, maximize the effective use of space. And that means cubic space up, not just out.
Use the height.
Exactly. Number two, efficient use of equipment and labor. Minimize travel time, idle time. 3, ensure all stock is accessible when needed. 4, protect the items from damage, theft, spoilage. And 5, achieve on-time delivery at the lowest possible shipping cost. It's all about efficiency and effectiveness.
Efficiency and effectiveness. So designing the warehouse layout itself must be critical for hitting those goals. It's not just random shelves.
Oh, heavens no. Warehouse design and layout is a science in itself. The objectives are similar to the overall goals. Maximize space utilization, that cube again. Optimize labor and equipment use. Ensure economical storage. Maintain good housekeeping and build in flexibility for the future.
And are there key principles they follow?
Yes, some core ideas. Optimize the storage cube, go vertical. Optimize the equipment to match the space and product. Critically, try to move goods in a straight line as much as possible. Minimize twists and turns. And a big one, minimize aisle space. Aisles are necessary for access, but they don't store anything, so you want them as narrow and efficient as possible.
Straight lines, minimize aisles. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Do layouts follow certain patterns?
Generally, yes. You'll have distinct areas for receiving, reserve storage, active picking locations, and shipping. Often, they use ABC storage, where A items, the fastest movers, are stored at the most accessible locations near shipping, B items are further back, and C items, slow movers, are in the least accessible spots. Saves travel time.
Smart. Okay, let's talk equipment. We joked about forklifts, but the source details a huge range of specialized gear. Can you give us a flavor of what's out there?
It's quite an array. For storage systems beyond basic racks, for large items you might have drive-in or double-deep racks for density,
Hmm.
cantilever racks for long items like pipes or lumber, flow racks where pallets slide down on rollers,
So smaller items.
bin shelving, modular drawers and cabinets for really small parts, and then you get into automated storage, horizontal or vertical carousels that bring bins to the picker, movable aisle systems where shelves slide to open up just one aisle, and the big ones, ASRS systems, automated storage and retrieval systems.
Of robots.
Essentially, yeah. Robotic cranes that operate in very tall, dense racking, storing, and retrieving full pallets, unit load ASRS, or smaller totes, mini load ASRS, automatically. Very fast, very space efficient, but a big investment.
Okay, that's storage. What about moving stuff around, materials handling equipment?
Right. You've got specialized dock equipment like dock levelers to bridge the gap to trucks, different types of forklifts, pallet jacks. Inside, fixed equipment like overhead cranes or conveyor systems, belts, rollers, chutes, and a whole zoo of mobile equipment.
Beyond the standard forklift.
Oh, yes. Manual lift trucks, powered walkie stackers, reach trucks that extend their forks into racking, turret trucks and side loaders for very narrow aisles, order picker trucks where the operator actually goes up with the platform.
Wow, up in the air.
Yep, right up to the shelf level for picking individual items. And increasingly, automated guided vehicles, AGVs, robots that follow wires or lasers, or use vision systems to move goods around without a driver.
It really is a high-tech environment. Now, something we often ignore is the packaging itself. How important is that in this whole process? And what's unitization?
Packaging is absolutely critical, often overlooked. It has four main roles: protection, preventing damage; information labeling, branding, handling instructions; containment, stopping leaks or spills; and utility, making the product easy to handle, store, stack, open.
So it's doing a lot more than just looking nice on the shelf.
Way more. And unitization ties into that utility aspect. It's simply combining individual items into a single larger handling unit. Think shrink wrapping cases onto a pallet.
Why do that?
Huge benefits. It drastically lowers handling costs. Moving one pallet is way cheaper than moving 50 individual boxes. Saves labor, saves transportation space, improves security, reduces damage, makes inventory counts easier, improves customer service because things arrive neatly.
Are there rules for creating good unit loads?
Yes, key principles. The size should work with all the handling equipment. It should optimize the cube utilization in trucks and warehouses. Stacking patterns need to ensure stability. Weight needs to be within limits. And ideally, the packaging material should be reusable or recyclable.
Okay, last piece of the puzzle. Automation and the software that runs it all. What's driving the push for more automation now?
Several key drivers. The relentless push for lean operations, eliminating waste in every process. Growing focus on sustainability, energy efficiency, less material waste. Better collaboration across different business functions, needing integrated systems. The integration of warehouse management systems, WMS, with transportation management systems, TMS.
So the warehouse software talking to the trucking software.
Exactly, making everything web-enabled for visibility. And better labor management systems to optimize staff deployment. These all push towards smarter, more automated solutions.
And what do these warehouse management systems of WMS actually do? They sound like the brain.
They absolutely are the brain. A modern WMS is incredibly sophisticated software. It manages everything from planning inbound receipts, directing put away, to optimal locations, managing inventory locations dynamically.
So it knows where every single item is.
In real time, ideally. It processes orders, optimizes picking routes using strategies like zone picking or wave picking to group orders efficiently. It manages shipping, tracks labor productivity, even interfaces with automated equipment like conveyors, carousels, ASRS, AGVs. It integrates barcode scanning, RFID. It orchestrates the entire flow of goods and information within the warehouse.
It really sounds like the choreographer for that invisible ballet we talked about.
That's a perfect analogy. It directs every step.
So wrapping this all up, what does this deep dive mean for you listening? We've gone from why logistics is so critical, through the complexities of managing inventory costs, right into the detailed operations and high-tech world of the modern warehouse.
It's quite a journey from a simple online click to that package arriving.
It really is.
Yeah.
So the next time you just grab something off a shelf or that delivery lands on your porch, maybe pause for a second. Think about that incredibly intricate dance, the people, the processes, the technology that made it seem so effortless.
Behind that smooth transaction is this dynamic, highly optimized, and often totally invisible logistical ballet.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other everyday conveniences rely on these kinds of complex hidden systems that we just take for granted?
Something to think about. How do these principles apply elsewhere?
Exactly. We hope this sparks some curiosity for you to explore further. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.